Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of South Fargo, where police were sent to a report of a man with a gun outside the Flying J Travel Plaza near Motel 6. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. Andrea has the evening off. Now, the call came in about 45 minutes ago. We just got word that a man has been detained. He's in the back of a police squad car. Workers at the Flying J say the man showed them a gun, but police say the man that is detained doesn't have a gun on him. Now, police are bringing in a canine to search the area. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson is on scene. She's waiting for more details. We'll pass them along shortly.
The rest of the shelter is on quarantine to ensure that nobody else gets the virus and that it does not go out into the public population.
Portions of an animal shelter and dog park in Grand Forks are closed for the next 2 weeks after a stray dog tested positive for parvo. That's a virus which is similar to the stomach flu in humans, only dogs can catch it. Circle of Friends Humane Society in Grand Forks wants dog owners to be on alert since the stray dog may have contracted it in the city prior to coming to the shelter. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop reports on what pet owners should do to protect their four-legged friend.
So to have them on quarantine is kind of hard.
For the next 2 weeks, Circle of Friends Humane Society cannot accept any dogs or allow any dogs to go out until the quarantine is lifted. This pit bull mix named Sarah is the one suffering from parvo. When we were there visiting, she didn't lift her head once.
Parvo goes after unvaccinated adults and puppies that have not completed their vaccine series yet. And since most of our dogs don't have a history of vaccines, or we don't know that history, we'd rather be safe than sorry.
For the next 2 weeks, the shelter will focus on cleaning as well as care. But because of the quarantine, none of the dogs can be walked or played with. They can only play with toys in their kennel. It's not just the shelter dogs that will feel the pain from this virus, but so will those who use the dog park on the shelter's property.
We know that it's in the community, so we're going to close down the park as well, just so that keeps all of those dogs safe.
Parvo spreads very easily, so it's important as a pet owner you make sure you stay up to date on their vaccinations and their boosters, especially if you take your dog to the dog park.
Dog parks are a good place for dogs to pick up disease. So at no point should you let your dog's vaccines lapse if you're going to a dog park.
Kayleen Foley of Grand Forks says she comes here with her 2-year-old dog every day to the park. She was surprised to see locks on the gates.
But it sucks that for 2 weeks we can't come here.
She says she is glad that the shelter is taking these precautions. In Grand Forks, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
The shelter is looking for the community's help with fostering some of the dogs that may come to the rescue while they're closed. They're also looking for some other donations as well. To find out what they need and how you can help, click on this story on valleynewslive.com. Decent start to the week. At least the winds seem to back down a little bit. Let's check in with Hutch to find out about tonight. Hutch, happy Monday to you.
Thanks, Mike. Happy Monday to you, and I hope you had a chance to enjoy the wind-free weather. We are expecting more wind as we take a look at the satellite and radar. There is not a lot going on as we're in between systems. Cold weather in northern Minnesota, but it has really warmed up quite nicely in the western Dakotas with temperatures approaching 70 degrees in Rapid City. Some of that warmth will move in tomorrow, but it's also going to come with a mix of wintry weather. Tonight, 30s, and wind that'll be quiet in all locations tonight. So another cool evening, but a little bit of everything in store tomorrow. Some sleet, some snow, some rain, some sun. Temperatures anywhere from the 30s to the mid-60s. That should about cover it, huh?
You better say that that's the end of it for the rest of the summer at least.
I wish I could.
I hope you are. Thanks. Fargo police arrested a man for strong-armed robbery after they say he stole a woman's purse and dragged her 10 feet last Friday. It happened outside Fargo Cashwise. The report says the female was walking into the Cashwise off of 13th Avenue South when the 30-year-old man ran up behind her and grabbed her purse. The female tried holding on to her purse before the strap on it broke. That's when the suspect took off running. Police arrested this Fargo man. An off-duty Fargo police detective recognized him from surveillance photos while at a Fargo business. Police then stopped the man's vehicle and he was arrested. It was a big weekend for heroin and other narcotics-related crime in the Northern Valley. Grand Forks police are investigating a burglary at the new Inspire Pharmacy. Cash and narcotics were stolen. It just opened Friday and works to provide prescriptions for folks who can't afford them. Over in Warren, Minnesota, 5 people were arrested in cases that all involve heroin, meth, or guns. Guillermo Ramirez was arrested in Argyle for illegal possession of a firearm. Anna Ramirez faces drug charges. In Warren, Jeremiah Linder and Caitlin Mock were both charged with having a controlled substance. Also in Warren, John Vondal Jr. faces drug and weapons charges.
Any violent crime in your area?
We haven't had any violent crime with it, no. But hopefully that's something that we're going to stop by finding some of these, like I said, we're not getting a lot of drugs off the street, but we're finding a lot of other things, guns and, some drugs.
Meanwhile, recent overdoses around the valley have people on high alert, especially with reports saying heroin is being mixed with the potent drug fentanyl. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hocker has more on this unsettling problem.
The face of addiction is not what we think of as someone down and out.
Dr. John Baird says it's easy for anyone to become addicted to opioids.
It's people who are working and people who have lives and families and are productive and young and just happen to have a problem with addiction.
A recent report out of Hospitals and Health Networks magazine talked about the opioid epidemic. It says 2 million Americans aged 12 and older developed some type of dependency on opioid painkillers in recent years, and 1 in 15 people abusing prescription opioids will eventually try heroin in the next 10 years. Heroin that could contain an even more dangerous drug.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid or narcotic, and we use it primarily on the outpatient setting for management of chronic pain.
Dr. Doug Griffin says fentanyl is extremely potent, around 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine.
If people are using it in a non-prescribed fashion, they can ingest too much very easily, and then what that does is it shuts off the drive by the brain to keep breathing. People stop breathing and it can lead to death.
Recent overdoses in the FM area have made people more aware of this issue, awareness that people behind Fargo-Moorhead Good Neighbor Project says is much needed in our community.
We've got all these people hiding in the dark. They shouldn't be hiding because what they're doing is dangerous to begin with. But when you do it alone, it's way more dangerous.
Jeremy Kelly says his organization provides free, clean needles for those battling addiction. Some people in our community feel providing needles to addicts is enabling their behavior, but Kelly says people with an addiction will get high no matter what.
Everything that we do here is evidence-based practice. The numbers are in. That all of this stuff works in a positive way.
Ideally, we'd like people not to be injecting at all, but the clean needles or the needle exchange, okay, let's at least try to keep people somewhat safe.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Fargo police are waiting for toxicology test results to confirm if drugs seized recently in the FM area did in fact contain fentanyl. 4 people have been linked and arrested to recent concerns about credit card skimming. The arrests follow a tip led authorities to a hotel where the group was getting ready to set up their skimming operation. Police say they've known these types of criminals are operating here and that fraud is a growing crime in Fargo. They add that the interstates make this place easy to swoop in and run off with your information and your money.
It's convenient, provides for quick ingress and quick egress, if you will. It allows them to move on to other locations, whether that's Minneapolis or Bismarck or Grand Forks.
Fargo police add that our growing population is another reason that skimmers are looking to this area. How much do you know about your court system and how it works? Well, the Annenberg Public Policy Center says that 1 in 3 people believe the U.S. Supreme Court rulings can be appealed. And fewer than half of Americans think a 5-4 court decision carries the same legal weight as a 9-0 vote. With that as background, North Dakota Supreme Court justices today tried to help educate young people about the courts themselves and what they do. They heard a case today at Fargo South. Justice Dale Sandstrom, a Fargo South graduate, says some people understand the courts and some don't. But he says these excursions into the schools are very worthwhile.
One of the students who gave us a tour at Crosby High School is now a very prominent lawyer in Bismarck and in the state of North Dakota. So we've seen a number of people who've gone into the legal profession after we've been there. We don't know if we were the cause of it or not, but at least we apparently didn't discourage them. So we hope it increases people's awareness of the legal system and the important role that it plays for them and the role they play in ensuring that we have a just society.
Today's court hearing, by the way, involves a Jamestown free speech case. Less restrictive walleye regulations put in place on Upper Red Lake in Minnesota this past winter. They're going to continue. The 2016 open water season opens on Saturday, May 14th. The daily bag on possession limit will be 3 walleye with 1 fish longer than 17 inches allowed. Walleye harvest on the Upper Red Lake is managed on an annual basis by a harvest plan. Survey information suggests that the regulation is also meeting the DNR management objective by distributing the harvest over a broader size range and removing some of the surplus spawning-sized fish from the population. Future harvest adjustments could include increasing the bag limit, and that could happen this summer. Finding out where the buses are running in the FM area can be as easy as checking your phone. Details later on Valley News Live at 6.
And ice crystals in clouds this morning make for a magnificent dual sun and the sunrise. Does look like we'll see quite a bit from the sky in the next 24 hours. I'll spell it all out coming up right after this.